Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubrali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. A 15-year-old man has been charged with attempted murder after shots were fired at a vehicle in Markham last week. York Regional Police said they got a weapons call on the afternoon of October 1st near Pringle Avenue and Bulletin Way in the area of Highway 7 and 9th Line. Callers reported hearing the sounds of gunshots and two vehicles speeding away, police said. When officers arrived, they only located shell casings in the roadway. No injuries were reported. Police said a security camera in the area caught someone from one vehicle firing their firearm at another vehicle. Earlier this week, investigators identified a suspect, Rolf Richard Triloki of Markham. He has been charged with attempted murder, discharging a firearm with intent, possession of a firearm while prohibited, and dangerous operation of a vehicle. The investigation is ongoing and police are asking anyone with the information to contact them or Crime Stoppers anonymously. A weekly Public Health Ontario epidemiology report says the measles outbreak that began in the province almost a year ago is over. The report says Ontario declared the end of the outbreak on Monday using national guidance that says an outbreak is complete 46 days after the onset of a rash in the last case. It says the last person to get measles linked to the outbreak got the rash on August 21st. The report says 2,375 people had been infected in the outbreak spanning 26 public health units. The spread started on October 18 last year after exposure to someone who got measles in New Brunswick. One baby died in southwestern Ontario after the mother was infected with measles and gave birth prematurely. Another baby died in Alberta's ongoing outbreak. Ontario's report cautions that measles still continues to circulate in Canada, so public health officials continue to be on alert. A 16-year-old and an 18-year-old are accused of being responsible for a violent carjacking spree in Mississauga that saw victims being thrown to the ground, punched and kicked. Peel Regional Police said the first incident happened on September 27th in a plaza near Erin Mills Parkway and Folkway Drive north of Burnham Thorpe Road West. Two suspects allegedly approached a woman as she was getting out of her 2011 Mitsubishi, threw her to the ground and punched her in the face. The suspect then fled using the victim's vehicle, which police said was recovered the day after. The second incident occurred on October 2nd in the area of Erin Mills Parkway and Eglinton Avenue West. As the driver was returning to his 2025 Hyundai Tucson, two suspects allegedly armed with scissors approached him and tried to stab him while attempting to steal his keys, police said. The victim was able to hop into his vehicle and lock the doors, prompting the suspects to flee. Later that day, the same suspects approached another driver walking towards his 2025 Nissan Sentra and demanded his keys. Police said a struggle ensued, resulting in the driver being thrown to the ground and kicked. The suspects ended up not getting the keys and left the area. Officers responded and following a search, they located the suspects in the backyard of the nearby house and took them into custody. Meanwhile, the victims suffered minor injuries, police said. In a news release on Thursday, one suspect was identified as 18-year-old Raheem McNish of Brampton. The other suspect is 16 years old and cannot be named under the provisions of the Youth Criminal Justice Act. They have both been charged with robbery, wearing a disguise while committing an indictable offense, and failure to comply with a sentence or disposition. The charges have not been tested in court. Ontario Provincial Police OPP say they pulled over a driver this week whose license has been suspended for 40 years. In a post on social media, the OPP said the driver, who was wanted by police, was stopped for speeding on Highway 407 in Burlington at around 2 p.m. on October 8. A photo alongside the post showed a radar gun reading 144 kilometers per hour, 44 over the 100 kilometer per hour speed limit. OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt told Awaz News the 60-year-old driver from Toronto was already facing 20 convictions of suspended driving before he was pulled over. He is now facing more traffic offences and was turned over to neighbouring police services for outstanding warrants. Toronto police are searching for suspects following a stabbing in Toronto's downtown core on Wednesday night. It happened near Bay and College Streets at around 6:40 p.m. Police said 3 suspects approached and stabbed a victim in the area. The victim was taken to hospital via emergency run and sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The first and second suspects were described by police as 5 feet 10 inches tall with a medium build. One was wearing a black hooded sweater, blue ribbed jeans, and black and white running shoes. The second was wearing a white puffy jacket, a blue shirt, white pants, red shoes, and a black durag. The third suspect, police said, was the same height as the first 2 but had a thin build. He was wearing a grey plaid jacket, black jeans, and white shoes. Police have now released images of the suspects in an attempt to identify them. The union representing about 10,000 part-time support workers at Ontario's public colleges will hold a strike vote next week amid an ongoing strike by full-time support staff. Noor Iskandar, chair of the college part-time support bargaining team at the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, says part-time workers at the 24 colleges have been working under an expired collective agreement since January 2024. Iskandar says the part-time workers' demands include paid sick days, cancelled shift pay for all workers, and wage increases. She accused the College Employer Council of dragging out negotiations and refusing to meet with the union. The council says it has offered wage increases of 2% per year, 6% vacation pay, and 2 paid sick days per year for permanent, regular part-time employees, among other things. It says the union's demands include a 6% annual wage increase, an additional 2% in vacation pay, and 5 paid sick days per year for all part-time employees, which go beyond what colleges are prepared to accept in the current financial climate. Iskandar says the pay increase offer doesn't cover the time since the contract has expired. Iskandar says the College Employer Council has refused 23 of 25 earlier mediation dates since engaging in conciliation in May, saying that their earliest availability is in December. The council says mediation is the best way to resolve outstanding issues and a strike is unnecessary. Meanwhile, about 10,000 full-time college support staff have been on strike since September 11. OPSEU said job security remains a critical concern amid campus closures and layoffs in the college sector. It says workers currently have no protections against job elimination. A man who was found dead in an Etobicoke business earlier this week was a victim of a homicide, Toronto police say. Officers went to the business located in the Vulcan and Arden Streets area west of Martin Grove Road on Monday night and found the person deceased. Police said an autopsy was conducted and on Wednesday, the victim's death was deemed a homicide. The cause of the death has not been revealed. He has been identified as 35-year-old Derek Xiang of Brampton. He is the city's 33rd homicide victim of the year. Police said 36-year-old Leonard Mtage from Georgetown was initially arrested on Tuesday and charged with indecent interference with a dead body. On Wednesday, police led an additional charge of a second-degree murder against Mtage. Constable Larry McCain confirmed to Awaz News that the suspect and victim were known to each other. They were co-workers, she said in an email. Investigators have not said a motive behind the killing. As the investigation is still active and ongoing, I have no further information to share at this time, McCain said. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.